You know what my wife had me do today? Move landscaping rocks for an hour. What's up with that? I was talking with a friend of mine last week. Couldn't shake my hand. I'm like, what's going on? He said, oh man, last month I was in a tree with a chainsaw. First off, that's not a smart thing to do. He was cutting a limb. Limb falls the wrong direction. Knocks him down off the ladder. The dude broke both of his hands. Ouch! My father-in-law, who is in his mid-70s, refuses to let anybody do his yard work, landscaping, or home repairs. Homeownership. What is it about homeownership that makes us want to age in place? And if we want to age in place, it's more important than ever that we harness technology to help us do it right. And that, my friend, is the topic of today's Retirement Answer Man show. My name is Roger Whitney, and if you're new here, this is the show dedicated to helping you not just survive retirement. No, my friend, we want you to rock retirement. And this month, the month of May, we have been exploring how technology is going to revolutionize retirement and help you rock retirement. And this week, we're going to talk about aging in place. And this is an important topic because according to the AARP, 90% of people want to age in their homes. And I find that in my practice all the time. They would prefer to be able to stay in their homes. Well, if that's the case, we're going to have to set ourselves up for success by being intentional now while we're younger so we can make great decisions for our older self. But you know what? We can't do any of that until we have that all-important disclaimer. Yes, we are back to the ominous music. Hey, last week we had some fun with the disclaimer music, and it doesn't mean we won't have fun in the future. But you know what? This disclaimer is actually an important part of the show. Because I don't give advice to you. I only give advice to clients I work for as a fiduciary. People I know. I don't know you. You don't know that much about me, so don't take advice from me on the show. This is serious, right? Before you make any decisions, talk to your legal advisor, your tax advisor, or your financial advisor, because that just makes sense. With that, let's go explore the hot topic segment on aging in place and some non-technology considerations before we get on to the technology. So as I said at the beginning of the show, 90% of people, according to AARP, would prefer to age in their homes, meaning not move out. So let's talk about why that is. And I think this relates to last week's topic in terms of the independence of driving a car and having mobility. Home ownership is in the DNA of a lot of us. I remember when my wife and I bought our first home, not too long after we were married. I mean, this was awesome. It was our first home. You know what? It was our place. We owned it with a big mortgage, but we owned it. And I could paint any wall, any color I want, assuming my wife said it was okay. We could arrange our furniture the way we wanted. We could put in whatever bushes we wanted. We didn't have to ask anybody. And you know what? When I drove home to my house. When we had friends over, they came to our house. And we were independent as a family. And then as our family grew, we had kids and we got a different house and then a different house to nest and raise our family and create an environment that was totally under our control to support our family. Well, that feeling doesn't just go away because you're retiring. And I think that's where a lot of this is behind, because think about what a home does for you. I think number one, it gives you a sense of self-determination. It gives you privacy. It gives you control over your environment. That's pretty important. It allows you not to be a burden on anybody else. It allows you to control how you do things. It gives you freedom from others. It gives you your own space to create your own routines. It gives you dignity. I think another thing is we don't want to be institutionalized. It's interesting that I think this home ownership and aging in place is so prevalent. I saw an article a week or two ago that said in certain places where, there isn't a lot of land, is that there's a home shortage for larger homes because the baby boomers just aren't selling them. And they don't have any room to build anymore. So the growing families, prices are being driven up, or they're having to move farther out because baby boomers aren't selling the homes that they built their family in because they're not moving out. So I think there's a big sense of determination and not being a burden on others. But there are some benefits to aging in place as well. So there's an article in Retirement Living that listed some of them, and they talked about 5 different reasons. One is aging in place can cost less than an assisted living or a nursing home or a retirement community. Now, that's not always the case, right? But, nursing home, according to retirement living, can cost $82,000 a year. Assisted living, $40,000 a year. And if you have a paid for home, that can end up being a lot less expensive. Their second reason that they quote is aging in place is more comfortable. I totally get this. I travel a lot and it's nice to get home, right? You know the way around. You have your routines. You have your favorite chair, your favorite mattress, the smells, the temperature, everything about your house is comfortable. There's something about just knowing your way around your house. This morning, I had to get up particularly early to take my car to the shop, and I didn't really want to get up because it was early. But I get up and I'm groggy, and I swear I was half asleep while I was doing my morning routine. As I'm walking into the kitchen to get ready and grab my keys and everything else, my wife was already sitting down and having coffee, and she looks at me and she's like, she could tell that I was still half asleep. But I was able to find my way around the house. I was able to go through my routine. I knew where things were. I knew what drawer the toothpaste was in. I just had it down. There's that comfortable feeling of your own home. They say number 3 is aging in place can help slow the advancement of memory loss. That there's a benefit of being familiar with your surroundings that triggers memories. Don't know about that. Number 4 is aging in place strengthens your social network. Now, this one I get. So think about this. I don't know where you live or how long that you've lived there, but most likely you have friends maybe down the street or a short drive from you, and you maybe play cards with them or games or meet up for dinner or whatever it is. That's pretty comforting, right? We walk our dog Sherlock every day, and he demands it, by the way, and he's pretty determined. And we walk the same streets, and we see neighbors, and we wave, and there's a comfort to just having people that you know around you. Now, that's the normal one. But also, I go to the same grocery store multiple times a week. I know where the post office is. I like my bike shop, like Jeff at Hilltop Bicycles in Mansfield, Texas. Great shop. I get to go hang there and talk about bikes. They know me. I know them. I know the people at Starbucks. There's not just your friend social network, but the environment around you. Well, think about that. So if you have to go move across country to be near one of your children, well, you just blown all that up. Or if you have to move to an assisted living or out of state, you can blow all this up. And that is very disconcerting, especially as you get older. Now, next month, when we dive into longevity, we're going to talk about building foundational habits, which is critical to help you not just live long, but age well. And having a social network of people, but also places and things, can be a big part of that. And number 5 on their list of benefits of aging in place is just self-determination. It's your own place, like we've been talking about. You're independent. This is my house, right? So Let's couple this with another statistic. This comes from a handout from a partnership between Hartford Funds and the MIT Age Lab, which is a pretty incredible place. And they say 40% of baby boomers expect to remodel their homes in the near future, usually the bathroom or the kitchen. And I know from experience that happens a lot, especially right prior to retirement. If it's not just that, then we also have people that are relocating right around retirement, either downsizing or moving to where they want to be, things like that. So there's a lot of things going on when it comes to the home right around the retirement decision. That's an opportunity, whether we're thinking about technology or not, to make sure we're set up for aging in place. Because according to the Wall Street Journal, homeowners over age 55, only 25% of them have a home where the bedroom and the full bath is on the first floor of the house, or have a way to get into the house without steps. So when you are remodeling or purchasing a home, these are things you consider. How do you buy a home that can be conducive to help you age in place? So we have steps, stairs, cabinets, entries. Things like this are just foundational things of a home that can help you age in place. I think of my in-laws, they have a nice ranch house. Everything's on the first floor, wide open areas, no steps anywhere. That has really served them. Now, again, you might say, nah, if my bedroom's upstairs, it's no big deal. I can handle it. But if you're 60 and you're trying to be intentional, remember, you're not just making decisions, just like with a portfolio, you're not making decisions for your 60-year-old self. You're also making decisions for your 75 or your 80-year-old self. I can do box jumps still at 52. In fact, I love doing box jumps where you stand on the ground and you leap up onto a box. I remember we were doing how high you could get, and I got up to like 40 something inches. I was very impressed with myself. Of course, my shins were beat up from trying so many times. But my point is, just because I could do box jumps now and I enjoy them, I know the toll that they take on my knees. So why would I want to set myself up, one, to do them if I know the toll they take? But also, in the case of stairs and having an upstairs bedroom and having lots of stairs all over the place, yeah, I can do them now, no problem. But 10 years from now, what if I can't? Now you have a bigger decision to make. Do you put in one of those cool little late night TV show elevators? Maybe you do. Or do you end up having to move? So something to consider. And if you're remodeling, I mean, think about the kitchen. You maybe want to lower the cabinets. You want to have things more accessible. If you're remodeling the bathroom, maybe you want to have it on the first floor. Maybe you don't want to have a threshold to the shower. Maybe, and this is going to sound old people stuff, maybe you want to have grab bars near the toilet or in the shower. You're like, Roger, come on. Why would I want that? I'm going to tell you something. I've fallen in the shower and I could have used a hand bar, right? Better be there to grab onto than not to be. This isn't about pride. This is about building a home to support you to be successful and to rock retirement if you want to age in place. So we'll have a handout put out by MIT Age Lab and Hartford Funds. We'll put that into Six Shot Saturday this week. And with that, let's go talk a little bit about how technology can help you age in place. I've fallen and I can't get up. Remember those commercials? And they had the little life alert button? That little piece of technology was pretty incredible because those are old commercials where that was one of the technologies, if you think about it, where someone could age in place. And if they fall, they hit the button. Somebody calls from somewhere. I forget how it worked. And they can get help. Technology is something that we can harness now to set ourselves up to be able to age in place successfully. Not to take over things. It doesn't have to be the total smart home, but there are basic things that we can get now and start to install and create an action plan that can help set things up. And then we'll talk a little bit about things in the future. So let's think about what is the new version of I've fallen and I can't get up. What are some technology things that are available to us? Well, if we think about, let's just go through some lists here. We got groceries and food. There are ample services now where you can put together your grocery list, have it all delivered to your house if you want to. You go online, you go through an app, you put together your grocery list, and you can have somebody bring that stuff to the house. But even if you don't want to do that, you can have it waiting for you curbside, and they could just load it up in your car and you can drive it home. Or you can just have it bring it to their house. Now, I always think there's a trade-off with that stuff because I like walking the aisles and being around people. You can use some of this technology to get so convenient that you don't even have to talk to anybody. I don't know if that's good, but if you can use it to help make your life more convenient in the event that you can't get out, that can be pretty valuable. Now, we think of devices right now, and these things are all available right now. We have video doorbells and security cameras. I think Ring was one of the ones that I think of. I don't have any yet. I have lots of friends that do, so I don't have really a recommendation of which service to go with. But you can set up I'll just use Ring as a video doorbell. Somebody rings the doorbell, you can be sitting down and you can look on your smartphone or your tablet and see who is at the door, and you can actually talk to them from your tablet and deal with those types of things without having to put yourself at risk to going to the door if it's somebody that you don't know. Or if you're not able to get up for whatever reason, you can still manage that and not have to have the hassle or the worry of getting up. The cool thing about that too is that you can literally be at the mall or on vacation. Someone rings your doorbell. You can see the video and talk to the person through your tablet or smartphone and act like you're home or you're just down the street. That is a huge convenience for someone that's all alone, whether it's a elderly couple or a single person that may feel at risk. You can use a video doorbell. You can also use Ring or video type cameras and have them around your home. So someone walks under a camera by your garage, bam, the lights go on. The video camera goes on and you can see what's happening around you. That's pretty incredible. I can remember, being a latchkey kid in a home all by myself and hearing noises. That's pretty scary. Whereas these things can help take some of that fear or worry away. So that's pretty handy. Now you have the Nest thermostat, or programmable thermostats that can help manage the temperature for you, whether it's recognizing that you're coming into a room and adjusting the temperature, knowing when you're home and when you're not, or adjusting the temperature from your smartphone so you don't have to get up and go to where the temperature is, and it can learn the ranges that you like. These are very handy things. You have Roomba vacuums that will just automatically run around by themselves and vacuum the floors. I don't know how they hold very much personally, but I know people that have them that love them. You have obviously Sonos, which is a speaker system that you can set up throughout your home to have music any way that you want and have your own library. And then obviously we have the Google Play, the HomePod from Apple, the devices from Amazon. I don't want to say Alexa. I did that once and I kept saying Alexa, Alexa, Alexa. And everybody was like, hey, don't say that. You're making it talk to me. But we have these devices that can instantly communicate with family that have the same devices, like a walkie-talkie system. They have video ones. It's a great encyclopedia. You can set timers, reminders, things like that. Now, in the last week of this month, we're going to talk about some of the concerns about these types of technologies. So we're going to get into that Because there are some concerns with having some of these things like an Alexa. I'm sorry. That, are quote unquote always listening. So we're going to have some discussions about that. But for now, they can add a lot of value for someone that's growing older to give them the ability to contact people quickly or to get information or manage things through these devices. They can be pretty handy. I bought one of those Amazon thingies from my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I think it was a year ago. It's very funny to watch them talk to it because they talk to it like it's a person. Just like, Siri on the smartphone. And we're going to talk in last week about how do we learn to keep up with these new technologies. I hope they're not listening to them. I'm teasing them in fun, but it's funny. Anyway, they have smart refrigerators now where they can help start to keep track of the food that's in there. So if you're at the grocery store, you're wondering if you need milk, you can see a video or a screenshot of what's in your refrigerator. Oh, I got milk. I forgot. That's pretty incredible. Now, what's coming with those, I don't know if it's here yet or not, but all these products now have these codes on them that sort of track each individual unit from cradle to grave, when they were produced, when they were purchased. And what will be coming with that is that you could literally in the future hit an app for your refrigerator and it will tell you everything that you have in your refrigerator and how old it is and whether it's good or bad. And actually may pre-populate lists based on your eating habits. Again, that's a little big brotherish, but you can see the advantage when you're 80 and you're trying to track this stuff and we're a little bit more forgetful to help make sure that the essential food that you need is there, or that you're alerted or someone that you care about is alerted to help you maintain being at home. Because what happens otherwise? You think of the classic example of you keep going over to grandma's and there's no food or it's all bad. This isn't working anymore. Grandma can't live independently. Well, if you have these type of things, maybe she can. You have light sensors. You have the smart lights that will turn on and off as you walk into a room, or you can have them turn on and act as the sun's rising to help wake you up, to keep you on normal rhythm cycles. You have activity sensors. You have cameras you can put everywhere. These are all pretty powerful technologies that can help you set yourself up for success. So as you're thinking about remodeling your house or upgrading your house, think about which one of these could be very handy. Maybe it's the video doorbell. Maybe it's having small wireless cameras around your house so you can feel more secure and know when something's moving around. Maybe it's you're upgrading your appliances and you're looking for a washer or a dryer that's going to load much easier than the old school washer and dryer. It's going to have some smart features so you can control it and monitor and know when things are done. All these little things, they seem individually inconsequential, can help make your life a little bit easier and help you be able to age in place a little bit more comfortably. Now, when we look out to the future, there's some pretty incredible things coming. Again, all with their considerations that we got to make sure we evaluate for ourselves. Here's some things on the horizon from my research. You have robotic lawn care. Maybe you don't have to pay someone. Maybe you have a Roomba lawnmower that mows the yard itself. Maybe you can sit there in the backyard and just remote control it so you can feel in control. They're developing mirrors that assess your health. Don't ask me how. Some sensors in the mirror that look at you and make some determination. Oh, you're looking a little peaky today. I don't know what they can detect, but it can help assess your health and give you warning signs when there's something you might need to pay attention to. This is one that's a little gross. They are developing toilets that analyze its contents. Hey, it makes sense, right? It makes sense where, hey, if they already have the Cologuard, which, you can get some indications of colon cancer and things like that, it makes sense to have a toilet that can do that. Now, this is what I like, and I bet you there are versions of this one out there already. pill bottles are pill management systems that sense when they've been used and can alert when they haven't been used to help keep you on track. With my wife's recent neck surgery, we had a little notebook where we keep tracking, did I take these pills? Did I take those pills? And how many did I take? And so forth. We were keeping track in a notebook. Well, there's technologies that are coming to help people do that automatically. So I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'm going to read you this blurb from an article I read. It says, with an aging population, this is in Japan, where 20% of the population is over 65, they are looking at what are called care bots. These are robots specifically designed to assist elderly people to shoulder the burden. These care bots can range from life-size humanoid bots that can lift patients or help them walk, to furniture that transforms from a bed to a wheelchair, and mobile assistants that can fetch and carry things from one room to another. Now that sounds a little freaky, but think about it. Getting out of bed at age 52 for me is one of the harder parts of the day, right? Everything's a little stiff and everything else. Well, you could have something help you a little bit in doing that. Or carry heavy things for you, carry your groceries in so you don't have to lug it all around. It sounds inconsequential, but that's something that can help you move around quicker. And I think most importantly, or as importantly, help you avoid unnecessary risks that can cause injury. Because we're talking about falling, stumbling, all those types of things are usually related to some of this home movement of carrying things from room to room, getting up, getting out of the shower. You got your own robot to help you do that, or to carry some of those things for you, just like a Roomba vacuums the floor. Hey, that could be pretty handy, I could see. And they even have smart coffee machines that will sense whether they've been turned on or not. And they have systems, and this seems a little freaky, where you can have electronics check in with your kids to know, hey, mom's moving around today. Or, yeah, mom didn't turn on the coffee machine today. It's been the second day in a row. In ways that your loved ones can know that you're okay. Because if you've fallen, obviously you got the life alert, but maybe your life alert is one of those Alexas or a smartwatch and things like that that can give you the opportunity to call somebody. But what if you can't? What if you're not able to, and your family is somehow aware that, oh my goodness, something happened because they got an alert? I know they're experimenting with something called smart carpet that can feel an impact, and based on how it's programmed to say, oh, that was a fall, or, and that can alert, hey, the carpet in the den just felt a big fall, and alert somebody that cares about you so they can call you through Alexa or whatever else and say, hey, are you okay? I know my Apple Watch will, sometimes I'll move it fast and it'll say, hey, did you fall? I'm like, no, I'm okay, Apple. Thank you, though. But these are the types of things that, one, can give you the confidence that you're not going to be all alone if something happens, but also give your kids or your loved one the confidence to stop nagging you about living on your own. So there are a lot of cool things like this coming. And I think our job in wanting to rock retirement, whether we're 50, 55, or 60, is to think about these things. And when we go to remodel, when we go to upgrade our light bulbs or something else, say, hey, maybe I spend a little extra to put this in place, even if it's for, the future self. So next week, we're going to dive into how technology is going to help you stay healthy. We're not going to dive too much into the medical stuff, but we're going to dive into the devices that can help you invest in your health so you can be mobile enough not to fall down in the first place. With that, let's go get happy. Hey, welcome to the Happy Lab, where we noodle on how to live a happier life. Hello, Nicole.
Hello, Roger.
You know what? I realized something, Nicole, and I'm a little embarrassed to say this.
Oh, do tell.
It's weird how things that we do that make us happy, we stop doing from time to time. Why is that?
I don't know. What have you stopped doing?
I realized it's April. No, excuse me. It's May.
May in podcast world.
In podcast world, because we're recording.
Today is April for us, but
yeah. I haven't read a full book this year. And to you, that's like, what?
That's horrifying.
How many books have you read this year?
How many?
You have goals around this, don't you?
I do. I set reading goals for myself every year, and then I stress at the end of the year if I don't meet the goal because upholder, and then my husband makes fun of me. But
whole cycle.
I think I've read 8.
Holy cow! I feel so inadequate.
And several of the books I've been reading were like 700 or 800 pages. I said the sequel to Pillars of the Earth was long.
Yes, it was. Yeah, good series. A little crass at times, but great series.
It was. Yeah, it was. It's every once in a while. It took me out of the moment when he would.
Yeah,
just
we don't need to go down there.
Okay.
Now I really feel inadequate, but I enjoy reading. Now, it doesn't mean I haven't read anything. I just haven't sat down and read a book cover to cover. And maybe it's because I've been so busy with client stuff, the Rock
we've been
Retirement
really
Club.
busy, and Shauna had surgery. I mean,
I'm doing this certification exam, which is really difficult. So I'm not making excuses, but I just realized the other, especially I don't usually read a lot of fiction, but I haven't read a book cover to cover, and it's May in your world. But the point is, I'm being happy is I enjoy reading books. When I sit down and I read a book, I'm happy, and I haven't done it.
You need to prioritize yourself, yo.
Yo. Speak the truth. All right. We're on it. Now, the question is, what have you not been doing that you know makes you happy? Why don't you go do that thing?
On your marks, get set.
Can we get this one right this time, Nicole?
I don't know.
Okay, let's take it.
Right.
Let's take it really slowly.
Maybe we should write it down.
And we're off to set a 7-day baby step to lead a better life.
That was good. You did it.
A new person listening to this show does not understand why we're being so intentional about that statement. But we've been messing it up a lot.
That's okay. Go back and listen to previous episodes, person.
So in the next 7 days, I'm going to give you 2 things. If you want to stick with, hey, you're probably something that makes you happy that you haven't been doing, go do that thing in the next 7 days. If we're going to talk about aging in place and you're close to retirement, go walk around and evaluate your home and figure out what's the one thing you can do to make your home, prepare your home to make your life easier if your plan is to age in place. Go start doing some evaluation and noodle on that. Nicole, I'll tell you one thing that makes me happy that I do every week.
Talk to me.
I talk to you definitely every week. I was going to say the show.
Okay. Speaking of it.
I was going to say the podcast, and I guess you're part of the show. I forget that it's all about you. No, I do like talking to you, and I like spending this time with everyone because we're all trying to rock life and rock retirement. How cool is that?
Very cool.
We appreciate you joining us today for this episode of Retirement Answer Man. Be sure to visit rogerwhitney.com/answers to access the Retirement Answer Library with over 30 checklists to help you make the most of the only life you have. Remember, you have more power than you realize to create an amazing life starting today with Retirement Answer Man. The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Have a wonderful day.